They sleep on our pillows. They chase laser pointers. But watch a house cat track a toy, and you are witnessing millions of years of perfectly calibrated evolutionary design. Underneath that soft fur is a lethal, highly adapted apex predator. Today, there are over 600 million pet cats living in human homes worldwide. We buy them sweaters, celebrate their birthdays, and treat them as fully domesticated members of the family. Unlike dogs, which humans spent millennia selectively breeding to alter their size, shape, and diet, cats skipped that process. Breeding cats for specific physical aesthetics only truly began about 150 years ago. If you sequence the DNA of the purring pet currently asleep on your couch, you will find it is virtually indistinguishable from this animal, the African wildcat, Felis libica. We have taken a perfectly evolved solitary desert hunter, brought it indoors, and locked it completely intact inside the modern living room. To understand how this happened, we have to rewind 10,000 years to the Fertile Crescent. When humans invented agriculture, we started storing massive amounts of grain. That grain attracted dense populations of rodents, and those rodents attracted the African wildcat out of the desert. Humans didn't actively tame or corral these cats. Instead, the cats engaged in a process known as self-domestication. They simply chose to live on the fringes of early human settlements to take advantage of the steady food supply. The arrangement worked so well that humans soon began intentionally bringing cats with them across the sea. Archaeological digs in Cyprus have uncovered human and cat graves placed side by side, dating back 9,500 years. As human civilization grew, so did the cat's status. In ancient Egypt, they were highly prized for pest control abilities, eventually becoming culturally integrated and worshipped. Their status was so high that Egyptians mummified them, preserving their physical forms with the exact same techniques used for humans of high status. From Egypt, they spread across the Roman Empire and eventually to the Americas by hitching rides on trade ships. They earned their passage as essential working mousers, maintaining their active hunting roles for centuries. For 9,900 years, cats traveled the globe alongside rising and falling human empires. But crucially, throughout that entire history, they always lived, hunted, and roamed completely outdoors. That outdoor lifestyle was dictated by their biology. Cats are obligate carnivores. This means their bodies have an absolute biological requirement for specific nutrients, like taurine, that can only be found by eating animal flesh. This animated equation illustrates the grueling caloric math of a cat's survival. Because common prey like mice only contain about 30 kilocalories each, a cat must successfully hunt and kill up to 10 times every single day just to meet its energy needs. And because most hunts end in failure, this diagram scales up even further. A cat has to attempt dozens of stalks and chases to secure those 10 successful kills. This constant caloric demand hardwired their psychology. A cat's predatory drive fires continuously, even when they aren't hungry, because waiting for hunger to strike before hunting would risk starvation. Even into the 1920s, keeping a cat completely indoors was considered physically impossible. They needed to hunt to survive, and they used the outdoors as their bathroom. Even U.S. presidents like Calvin Coolidge let their cats roam freely outside the White House. The indoor cat is a completely artificial construct invented in the mid-20th century. It was made possible solely by two sudden technological breakthroughs: the spread of commercial refrigeration, which allowed for canned meat, and the accidental invention of clay kitty litter in 1947. Over the span of just a few decades, these two modern conveniences abruptly erased a 10,000-year-old outdoor lifestyle. We brought the cat inside without altering a single aspect of its wild biology. This scale map shows the spatial shock of that transition. A male wildcat's median home range spans a massive 5-square-kilometer polygon. Today, an average indoor cat is confined to a space shrinking drastically down to a tiny 130-square-meter dot. There are highly valid reasons for this modern continuous confinement. Keeping cats indoors protects vulnerable native wildlife populations from predation, and it keeps the cats themselves safe from cars and infectious diseases. But calling this arrangement a perfect win-win for the cat's well-being relies on an outdated pre-1960s scientific model of animal welfare, one that equates physical safety with total psychological health. By completely thwarting an obligate carnivore's millions of years of hunting instincts, we force a severe psychological trade-off. Denying their natural behaviors leads directly to frustration, chronic stress, severe obesity, and destructive behavioral problems. To navigate this, the scientific consensus is that we must intentionally bring the wild indoors. Owners have to provide vertical territory, cat trees and shelving, to satisfy the animal's hardwired need to climb and survey its environment. Feeding also has to become a psychological exercise. Using puzzle feeders and engaging in dedicated active play forces the cat to use the complex problem-solving skills required for stalking and capturing prey. The domestic cat is the ultimate evolutionary survivor. They bypassed the intense physical shaping that dogs went through, stepping out of the desert and straight into our homes. They didn't alter their biology to fit into our modern world. We simply had to build a world around them.